about you, but I hate bugs. What are the 3 biggest myths when it comes to bug removal? Well, that is the episode of today's video. Before we get started into the fun, let's have a look at the front end of my white car. Endless bugs. Bugs, bugs, and more bugs. And I know many of you from different parts of the world will be laughing, saying, ha, 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 Darren, you have no idea what bugs are like where I live. But welcome to my world in California. Bugs is not a serious issue, but nonetheless, I hate bugs and I don't want them on the front end of my car. But how do I remove them? And what are the 3 biggest myths exactly? First off, not all bugs are created equal. Here in California, as in Southern California, they're going to be different than where you live. Secondly, there is no chemical that exists that you can spray on and magically hose off and remove 100% of every bug in every situation. Third myth, you're always going to require, regardless of the chemical, some form of mechanical agitation or a chemical that is so harsh that it will literally dissolve anything and everything, including your car paint. Third, some kind of pressure, as in the form of pressure washer, that will aid in the chemical that you've chosen to remove the bugs. Or 4, sucking the bugs off after you've applied the chemical and they've broken down the bug guts. So one of those things is gonna have to happen regardless of the chemical or the bug remover that you've chosen. So with that said, let's dissect those 3 myths specifically. Not all bugs are created equal, meaning the bug itself, some will simply stick to the paint or glass or chrome better than others. Secondly, there's some bugs that are truly caustic. The chemistry of the bug is caustic to certain materials, namely your paint. So you've got the first issue of how difficult is it to remove. The second issue is it literally may contain chemicals of the chemistry of that particular bug, like love bugs in the East Coast, that will damage your paint. It will leave a permanent mark. It will etch into the clear coat. So not all bugs are created equal. Second, biggest myth, no perfect chemical out there. If you have a chemical that you can spray, and let's just say hypothetically, let it sit for about 30 seconds to a minute and hose it off, and it will remove every single bug from every single crevice and nuance of your front end, I think I would run. Now, they may exist and I may just be ignorant. That, of course, always remains as a possibility. I have yet to ever see one. I've seen many claims, but they're always using some form of dwell time, as in the chemical has to sit and saturate that bug and break it down. They're always using some kind of agitation, some kind of scrub pad, something. It might be subtle, but they're still doing something. There's still an added layer of effort. Or they're using a pressure washer, which will compensate for manual or mechanical agitation. So something like that is always going to be involved in every video, every chemical that comes out and says it's the magic formulation for instantly removing bugs. Now, with that said, is yes, there are chemicals that are more effective than others. I will not deny that. But in my endless pursuit, my relentless pursuit of being effective, efficient, safe, because if I can nail all 3 of those, that means I'm going to be more profitable as a professional detailer, or as a car owner, that means I'm going to be able to enjoy driving my clean, detailed car more than I am spending the time, money, and effort to make it clean. So I'd rather spend the time driving it clean than making it clean. I get it. There's a certain cathartic element to cleaning your car and seeing that gratification of your end results. I get it, and I'm not dismissing that. It's just that I don't want to consume my entire weekend doing certain parts of the detailing process, in this case, removing bugs. So let me introduce you to, yet again, why I'm so in love with the Clear Coat Solution line of products, because it truly does keep it simple. Simplicity has to do with efficiency. Now, the effectiveness of it, that's a whole different topic. Yes, they're very effective, but it's very efficient because they're so versatile, which means I have to buy less products, which means I have to source less products. That's less time. When I'm doing the processes of detailing, there's less products to manage. There's less products to run back and forth with every time I want to change jobs. So when it comes to the exterior, and by the way, the bugs that you're seeing is approximately 32 miles of driving. May not seem like a lot of bugs, certainly is not a lot of miles, but on a car that is kept this clean as I keep it, it stands out like a sore thumb. So I have to spend additional time during this time of year. This is what I call bug season. Here in California, it starts at late March and can go all the way through to August. It's very annoying. So what if, here is the proposition to you guys, what if I can accomplish 2 tasks with 1 product? The versatility of 2 specific products, the Q7 Wax, the Q7 Detailer. Okay, so the Detailer is simply a gloss enhancer, a cleaner in the context that it can clean away light dust, smudges, oils, fingerprints, that type of stuff, and enhance the gloss and appearance of your car. There's no true carnauba or protection in it. It's simply a gloss enhancer quick detailer. Yes, I know there's products that combine both, which you could then default to this, which is a spray wax. This actually has a form of protection called carnauba wax in it. Yes, you can still use it as a quick detailer if you like, but it's not labeled specifically for that. What makes these products, one of the many reasons that makes these products unique, is that the formulator, which I have the ability to verify firsthand, added a chemical that was designed specifically to deal with love bugs, which, if my understanding is correct, was a genetically modified kind of man-made bug to deal with, I think, mosquitoes. But everything went south. It didn't work out as planned. Now we have pervasive love bugs that are damaging to your paint, and they're very problematic in getting off. So he added a special surfactant. How's that for a term? A special surfactant. He would not tell me what that is because it's proprietary blending and formulating on his part, but he was able to add something that will aid, not completely work wonders. You can't just spray it on and just have it just like literally vaporize into nothingness. That's not what this product does, either of them. But it will aid in the removal. So let me show you what I do. Because I could, for example, default to my simple green, my all-purpose cleaner that I use in so many ways. And it would be effective in helping to break down, and I stress helping, not completely annihilate and dissolve those bugs, but help me break them down. But now what I've also done is I've stripped off any wax or protection on my car paint. So what if I can accomplish both at the simultaneously with one of these products, because these aren't going to be damaging at all, and they're not going to not only not strip away the protection that's there underneath those bugs, but it's going to add some form of protection in the process of helping me clean these bugs away. That to me is a double win in my book. Once again, it's about efficiency in this moment. It's also allowing me to accomplish 2 separate things into 1 task, meaning removing the bugs and adding, or at least not taking away, the protection that already exists to it. But yes, I will be adding protection while I'm taking the bugs away. Let me show you how I do it. This is what you will need. You will need one of these products, the Q7 Wax or the Q7 Detailer. You pick your poison. And I also like to have some distilled water. I always default to distilled water because it's the purest water you can get. So I can apply this in direct sunlight. It'll bead up. It will dry completely, but I do not have to worry about any hard water stains or spotting. So I love distilled water. Next is my scrub pad. I accept that if there is no chemical that's going to not damage my paint, that I can spray and let sit and not have to wait 2 hours of dwell time and then come back and remove bugs. I want to cut to the chase. Well, this is how I cut to the chase, is I accept I'm already going to have to be scrubbing, even if it's just in the nuances or the details of my grill or the headlights or in between the seams. I know there's always going to be scrubbing. So I spray with the distilled water. Now both these products, well, literally the whole product line is formulated based on what's called true waterborne technology. So they work very well with water. I like to use the comparison of latex paint. Latex paint is water-based. While it's still wet, it's water soluble. Once it dries, it's not water soluble, and it's very good. So that's an oversimplification, but hopefully it helps you wrap your mind around it. So now I pick one of these products. Let's say you already have one of them, so either one will work, but because I also would like to add some wax to the equation, I'm going to pick the wax. And I'm going to just spray it. And I prefer to work in the shade. Why? Because that allows more dwell time before the products start to dry. As a rule, when a chemical dries, it no longer is chemically reacting to what you want it to do. So the reaction, whether it's a good reaction or bad reaction, generally halts or stops working. So dwell time is important because it begins to break up the bugs as it dwells. Now I could use literally just distilled water, and if I had the time, I could just sit here and just spray it, go in the house, set my timer, come back out in approximately 4 minutes based on the temperature, humidity, direct sunlight, shade, whatever, so that this keeps working. And then just respray, respray, respray over and over and over. But I don't have time in the day for that because I want to just once again cut to the chase, but I would like something that is going to prove a little more effective than just straight water. To aid that, I'm going to reach for one of these sponges. It's microfiber on the one side, and that is my go-to, is always a microfiber. You may not have one of these specialized sponges, so go with a basic microfiber cloth. This has a nylon, very soft kind of grid on the back. This is a little more aggressive, and by aggressive I mean that it's got some bite to it, but it's not going to scratch the crap out of my paint. If you have a show piece of a car, which I kind of put mine in that category, you may not want to use this, so just pick a sponge or a microfiber to help you agitate it. In my case, I go with one of these. Now, if you've seen many of my other videos, I talk about this non-abrasive scrub pad. I don't recommend these. While it's non-abrasive, I accept that it will be abrading my car paint, as in the clear coat, if I was to scrub aggressively enough. So I'm not going to use one of these. I will use this side, and I most certainly will use this side. So I just manage the moment. And I don't know if it's capturing it on video, but you can see some of the bug guts already dripping down as I'm talking. So I keep it wet with the distilled water. I spray the wax on it, and I get my sponge. I I hate that word, moisten. I don't know why. I pre-wet it. How about that? Now I'm just going to go around and I'm going to break up the bugs, and I'm going to go with the obvious bugs that want to submit to my mechanical agitation. And then I can wipe and check my results and see that there's still some buggage clinging to life. So I just reapply. Maybe I move on to a separate section, allow a little more additional dwell time there. I come back in. Once again, on my car, this is acceptable to me. While this is a garage baby at some level, I do drive it virtually every day. I don't put a whole lot of miles on it, but it's also not a showpiece that's going to be scrutinized at a concourse level. It's still what's considered a daily driver. So I'm just going to go through and clean up these bugs. But what's so cool is that I know that in the process of doing this, A, I'm not damaging my paint, and B, I'm actually adding a layer of wax to my car paint. So once I've obtained acceptable results in the area, then I either get a new cloth to buff this to perfection, as in, it's just like waxing a car at this point. You know, you apply the wax, you flip the cloth over, and then you buff it to nuance it or finesse it so that it looks perfect. That's how I do it. I just go around, and this is where the details come in. I have to specifically deal with the nuances, the details of the grill, the emblem, the seams. What's also cool is that the detailer itself, which is why maybe I would use the detailer for the front windshield, because the front windshield has a crap load of bugs on it also. If you've seen my car window cleaning video, you'll see how this is very versatile and also being used as a car window cleaner. So when I get up there, I'm going to default to this. The front end, I'm going to default to the wax because it's paint. So with that said, there's my tutorial on removing bugs from the front end of your car. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you like what you're seeing. There's always going to be links in every video or below every video. Check out the links, it'll take you to my website for more comprehensive dissertation on the subject. Till next time, we'll see you on the next video.